Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. This is some gameplay footage that was provided to me by Antisocialmunky. I think I mentioned in the last video I posted that I was away for pretty much an entire week while we were on vacation with our family. I didn't really have a chance to play Teamfight Tactics. And then by the time that I got back, there was like 2 days remaining in this patch. And there wasn't really much point in trying to learn what the gameplay was like in the patch when another one was about to come out. So, fortunately, Antisocialmunky had a chance to play this, send me this footage, and he's going to show us a game featuring the unit that has completely taken over the gameplay during the time that I was away from Teamfight Tactics, and not in a good way. That unit being Gangplank. Yeah, Gangplank has apparently really been dominant. People figured out that there was a certain team composition you could build around him, based in particular around an individual power-up that's really good on him. And if you just hit the pieces, it just was completely busted in like a ridiculous, stupid way. So we're going to see an example of that in this game because Antisocialmunky was able to hit the big Gangplank combo. And in fact, we're going to see Gangplank on the warpath in this particular game. Talk about why this build is so strong, why it needs to be nerfed so badly, and yeah, just kind of see some of this gameplay footage. I noticed that Antisocialmunky is using the like fancy birthday background. He actually pulled this out of one of the loot boxes at like it's like 1/3 of 1% odds, and he actually just hit that by complete dumb luck. So now he has this one which has like the Feather Knight everywhere. I don't hate this one. I do think it's maybe a little too gimmicky. There's like a little too many doodads here. But anyway, first augment, ASM's looking here. I don't think he saw anything that he particularly wanted that badly. He was looking at the different options here. I think that he was considering taking Epoch, which is just like a very generic standard augment, but then he decides to re-roll it. And he's going to end up getting another one that he will take, Warpath. Gain a 2-star, 2-cost champion. After dealing 80 player damage, gain a chest of high-cost champions and items. This is a very high-risk, high-reward one, because it does nothing immediately aside from give you a 2-cost champ. But which champ does he get? Yep, he gets the Gangplank. The most broken unit in this particular patch build. Gangplank. He gets the 2-star Gangplank, and he is off to the races, basically, because that's pretty much all that he needs to hit to immediately have a really strong opening. He also has an item that's good on Gangplank. He made a Rage Blade for Kale. It turns out Rage Blade's also a very good item on Gangplank as well. And now he's going to need to move his power-up over to Gangplank. He currently has it on the Kale, but he can, of course, look to shift it over there and try to play the Gangplank. All right, so what does Gangplank actually do? Why is he so broken? Well, the first reason why he's broken is his numbers are just set too high. It's very obvious that his numbers are higher than what they should be. Gangplank's 2 traits are Mighty Mech and Duelist, so he will stack up attack speed over the course of the round. By the way, is ASM going to win this round? No, he actually ends up losing this one to the tower over on the other side. So as I said, Gangplank's a Duelist, combines well with Kale for that reason. All right, so he definitely wants to shift his power-up over to Gangplank. He is going to do something unusual here, though. He's not going to use the item remover. He's just going to sell the Kale in order to transfer the power-up over to GP. And the reason for that is that way he doesn't have to use the item remover. He can actually fish for the Gangplank augment that's really overpowered. Come on, ASM, I know I watched this video footage earlier. Yeah, he's going to move the no. See, he ends up just selling the Kale. So why does he do that? Well, it allows him to fish for the one he wants, and that one is called Stretchy Arms. It went by really fast, so I'll talk about what this does. If he had used the power-up remover on Kale, of course he could have put the power-up on Gangplank, but this way he actually had a chance to roll twice for different power-ups on Gangplank. So he was able to save the opportunity to fish again a second time for the Gangplank power-up that he wanted. And in fact, he got the one that he really wanted, which is called Stretchy Arms. Stretchy Arms says this: gain 10% attack speed. On takedown, gain +1 range. Now, a takedown is a kill or an assist. So if Gangplank gets a kill or an assist on another unit, he gains +1 range. I don't know why this is in the game. There have been so many problems historically with TFT that have been caused by melee units getting extra range so that they don't become melee units. It was just like so obvious that this would become a problem, so I don't know why they bothered to put this in the game. Predictably, it is a problem, And Gangplank, who is a melee unit, getting infinite range breaks him quite badly. All right, so as I said, why is he so busted? Number one, numbers are just set too high. He does way too much damage. His ability only costs 40 mana, so I think that's every 4 auto attacks he can get his ability off, which of course is not a lot. And it actually does really high damage. I looked at the numbers. I think it does like 500 something damage base at 2-star. I think it's like 485 base damage at 2-star. Goes up to like 800 something at 3-star. Like that's an insane amount of damage for a unit that's only a 2-cost unit to have. I mean, if you put like an Infinity Edge on him and it crits, you know, that damage goes up well over 1,000 at 3-star. So like that's a lot of damage on a low cost cooldown. But what makes it even more crazy is Gangplank's ability has a secondary function. If he kills a unit, he has a percentage chance to drop a gold coin. Yeah, so not only does he do an insane amount of damage, he also prints money too. Yeah, that was maybe not the best decision in terms of putting this together. Yeah, maybe that wasn't such a smart idea on the part of the developers to do that. So he is not only a really strong carry, he also prints insane amounts of money as well. And yeah, we're also seeing that ASM's having a pretty good amount of luck in hitting additional units here. He had already pre-leveled to level 5, so he's going to put in the Nefiri to get Juggernaut trait in. But really, every single unit on the board is just a trait bot other than Gangplank. Kale is in there for Duelist trait. He's got the Aatrox, which is going to be another unit to get him towards Mech, and Aatrox is also providing Heavyweight and Juggernaut. But like the Aatrox, the Zac, I guess the Nefiri, they're mostly just there to stand around and block while Gangplank tries to farm up things with his Rage Blade. So yeah, he's got the Rage Blade, so he stacks attack speed throughout the fight. And then he also has the Edge of Night for an aggression drop. These are seen as being the top items on Gangplank. And then apparently the other item people try to build is a, what's it called? The one that gives stacking attack speed. The name is escaping me at the moment. The Kraken Slayer. Yes, I don't know why it took me so long to think of that. But yeah, you can see Gangplank prints like 3 gold that round. Yeah. Because not only is he this awesome carry, every time he kills a unit, he has 40% odds to drop a gold coin as well. And by the way, look at this, the 2% odds Jarvan. Oh man, getting the 2% odds Jarvan just makes this even more ridiculous. So now ASM has got the Mighty Mech trait in already. And of course, 3 Mech is not especially strong, but having another unit on the board this early in the game is, of course, just good to have. And he wants to play Jarvan anyway, because Jarvan is a really strong 4-cost unit. He's going to be the main tank in this team composition. It's just awesome to have them on the board this early, because the other thing that ASM's going to be doing is he's going to be playing into 4 Mentor. 4 Mentor was really strong when the set came out. I think it got a very minor nerf, but not enough. Definitely not enough. Earlier on, people were playing this Mech plus Mentor build, and like that's still popular. I think I did a video on that we did the day the set came out. The Mech plus Mentor thing is still popular, but basically people realized, hey, Gangplank is totally broken, so we can actually make the Mech plus Mentor thing even stronger by playing through Gangplank instead. Although it does look like ASM's going to lose this round, but it's up against someone who is level 6. They took the augment that I think takes you to level 6 right at the very start of the game, and he actually got pretty close to beating that one as well. All right, so yeah, as we said, Gangplank is already starting to get out of control because he's already printed quite a bit of money. And this board is, like, the board strength is already really strong. Like, normally in TFT, you have to make a compromise between things that give you econ and things that make your board stronger. Like, that's the way the game is supposed to work, right? Generally speaking, if you have a unit that prints money, you know, that gives you additional econ, the rule is that unit can't be strong. Like, just by definition, that unit can't be a strong unit. It has to be a unit that you're sacrificing something to play in order to get the stacking econ bonus. The problem is, Gangplank does not force that trade-off. He's an insanely strong carry unit, and he also gives you insane econ as well. So it gives you all kinds of money to like let you keep rolling. You can either push levels or you can reroll. With this build, you want to try to reroll for Gangplank 3-star. So you're going to see ASM's going to get up to level 6 or level 7 and then roll for the Gangplank 3-star. But this unit is unbelievably stable at just a 2-star. Like, he doesn't have to be a 3-star. He's an insane carry, even as a 2-star unit. A 2-star 2-cost is running over lobbies. Yeah, believe it or not. Look, this person's doing the same thing. This person is also playing Gangplank on their board and trying to do the same build. but they only have 1-star Gangplank, so their build's not as strong. Another big issue, though, is if you can like start to get out in front of the rest of the lobby, this build just scales insanely hard because the stronger Gangplank is, the more things he kills, the more gold he farms, the stronger you get economically. It just snowballs and snowballs and snowballs. And it's not like he's a 4 or a 5 cost unit where other people in the lobby get time to like try to build their boards. He's a freaking 2 cost unit. You can have him 2-starred very early on in the game. I mean, Antisocialmunky got a 2-star version of him literally from the first augment of the game. So he had a 2-star Gangplank on 2-1. Like, what are you supposed to do about that if you're playing another board? And then he's going to print you insane amounts of money as well. Like, this is just stupid. This is really, really dumb. The other thing that just really overtunes him is the stretchy arms. Because Gangplank is a melee unit, we're going to see ASM take the magic roll here, which is just going to give him something completely random. It turns out he's going to get a whole bunch of gloves. He gets 4 gloves. I believe he makes a double Thief's Glove from this, if I remember correctly. But he's going to level to 6 and put Yasuo in here. And then I think he's just going to start slamming Thief's Gloves on some of these units because, he's got 5 gloves. He's got to do something with these. I think he puts them on the Zac and he puts them on the Aatrox. You might say, why on these units? Well, they're both going to get sold later on. They're his only other 2-star units, and they're both going to get sold, so they're really good candidates to put a Thief's Glove on in this particular setup. Anyway, I was saying the other thing that makes GP busted is if you can get the stretchy arms thing. And like people are just rolling and rolling and rolling the power-ups to try to hit the stretchy arms Gangplank because this unit is already, as I said, like really overtuned, and the stretchy arm just makes him completely busted. It gives him infinite stacking range. Like, again, Gangplank's supposed to be limited by the fact that he's a melee unit. Melee units are, of course, much more vulnerable to getting crowd controlled. They can get focused by the enemy team. Like, they're just a lot safer than your traditional backline unit. But that doesn't matter if Gangplank has stretchy arms because he gets +1 range every time he gets a kill or an assist. So it's very common on these boards to see Gangplank standing around, and then by the end of the fight, he's like hitting someone that's like 7 hexes away because he's gotten so many kills and assists. You are seeing Antisocialmunky start to reroll here. He's rerolling for more Gangplanks. The logic there, of course, is when you're on level 6, you have the best odds to see the 2-cost units. You can see the 40% odds down there at the bottom of the interface. He's also found an Udyr. He's put Udyr on the board to get an extra duelist. He could actually take Kayle off the board now if he wanted to. But of course, if he was going to play like the Yasuo or the Kabako, the mentor bonuses would turn off. So he does want to try to get up to 4 mentor, but he kind of only wants to play 1 mentor until he can find the other ones. He said good luck at finding them. He has all of them except Rise so far. So if he can just find a Rise, he can get the 4 mentor in play and start getting those benefits as well. Because as I said, 4 mentor is also really, really busted in this setup. Like look at Gangplank. Look how he doesn't even have to move. He just stands in place with his Rage Blade because Stretchy Arms has allowed him to get, I don't know, he has like 5 or 6 range by the end of the fight. It's just ridiculous. And he printed another 3 gold coins. I mean, what do you do? Like, what do you do about this? How do other boards compete? It's just like not possible. It's just really, really dumb. So, like I said, this has been running over the ladder. This has completely warped the gameplay of the set. And the general consensus has been this has been a really bad patch. Like, I have not been sad that I have been away from TFT for a week while this was going on. ASM actually compared it to the infamous War Week back in set 4 when Warwick was like busted and was completely and utterly overtuned. By the way, look when he gets off this carousel. Yeah, there's still a Rise on this carousel. So now Antisocialmunky can actually play the 4 mentors. He's going to have to shift his board around a little bit to do that. But he can, in fact, play the 4 mentors, and he's going to do that. He does have to take some units off the board, so he's going to drop the Kayle, drop the Set, and he's also going to level to 7. And he actually has 2 Kabakos on the board. I don't think he realized he has 2 Kabakos on. So goodbye Kayle, goodbye Set. So that loses Juggernaut trait, but it will pick up the 4 mentor. Now, obviously, he doesn't have the 4 mentor right now because he accidentally doesn't have the Yasuo on the board. But as soon as he realizes that and puts Yasuo on the board, he's going to have 4 mentors in. He does not have a lot of Gangplanks. The Gangplanks have not been showing up thus far, but sooner or later they're going to have to come in. And again, one of the things that this whole build does is it gives you insane amounts of econ, so you can roll and roll and roll and roll and roll. The only thing really balancing this is the fact that there's usually like 2 or 3 other people playing Gangplank in every lobby. But I believe there's only one person playing Gangplank in this lobby aside from him. By the way, this person is playing the other build that has popped up in terms of being really strong, and that is the reroll Jhin plus reroll Mundo. Yeah, apparently there's this build that rerolls for Jhin and Mundo. And it turns out it's really strong as well. Like you can see, this Mundo has tanked absolutely forever. The Mundo tanked the entire fight, but eventually he is going to die. That's a 1-star Mundo, by the way. Yeah, it's not a 2-star Mundo. But ASM is going to end up winning this one, even though he accidentally only had the 3 mentor on the board. But now he can rectify that, and boom. Now he has the core of this board in place. He's also going to get another power up. We'll see who he puts this on. It probably should go on either Jarvan or Udyr, but we'll see who he ends up putting this on. Anyway, this is the core of the build. The 4 mentor, 3 mech, 2 strategist, 2 duelist, 2 heavyweight, 2 juggernaut. Again, you're picking up pretty much all of the trait synergies of the mentors. Does not have an edgelord or executioner, but basically every single other trait synergy is in play here. And as noted before, the is he going to put it on Yasuo? Okay, Yasuo's unitemized. That's why I didn't think he would do that one. He's going to take Midas Touch, execute enemies for more gold. Okay, we need more gold dropping. Sure, that's what we definitely need, more gold dropping here, because he's not getting enough econ. Look, GP prints a gold coin. Let's see, GP prints another gold coin. And look how far away he is. Like, he doesn't even have to get close to the enemy. Prints another gold coin. What was that? 4 additional gold? And, like, that fight wasn't even close. Like, it's not even close. His board didn't even get scratched. I think the other team killed, like, 1 unit. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, the other board killed 1 unit. And ASM's board is full of 1 stars. Like, he has a 2-star Gangplank, yes. But what else does he have on his board? 1-star Jarvan, 1-star Kabako, 1-star Yasuo, 1-star Rise. Like, his board doesn't even have 2-star units yet. Okay, he finally hit the 2-star Kabako. But, like, he is running over the lobby with 2-star GP and a bunch of 1-star units. If he's winning this hard with just this board, I mean, you can imagine what it's going to look like once he puts the pieces together. And now he is up to the 6 Gangplanks. He had a nice run there of hitting 2 Gangplanks in quick succession. But, I mean, he almost doesn't even need to hit the 3-star Gangplank. I mean, obviously he wants to, but, like, he's kind of winning these lobbies without, or winning these rounds without it. He's on 93 HP, has only lost 2 rounds the whole game. Anyway, now he's going to have to put some other items together. He's going to make Protector's Vow on Jarvan. The general consensus has been that this is Jarvan's best item. And it looks like he's going to make just another Thief's Glove. He actually has triple Thief's Gloves on there. So yeah, like, why not? He's a little dependent on what these Thief's Gloves actually roll. But, I mean, he ended up with 6 gloves. So, like, what are you going to do with 6 gloves? Might as well make some Thief's Gloves here. He's also going to roll for a different power-up. I probably would have taken the Unflinching, gained Omnivamp and Crowd Control immunity. I think he ends up taking Blood Brothers, damage dealt by Yone, and Yasuo applies a stacking bleed. I don't know that this one is that good, because a lot of the value in this power-up is getting the benefit on both Yasuo and Yone. So, like, you're actually powering up 2 units at once by picking this. But until you have Yone on the board, this one actually feels a little bit on the weak side. So I don't know that this is the one I would have necessarily picked. But still, does it really matter? Like, look at Gangplank. He has not moved the whole fight. Like, by the end of the fight, he has, like, 8 range. It's absurd. It's just really, really dumb. Like, it's so dumb. I hate to keep saying this, but, like, it's so dumb. Well, anyway, the mentor units all get the powered up mentor abilities. They also all share in the bonuses. But one thing about Mentor 4 is the rest of the team does not get the mentor bonuses. So that's something, right? The rest of the team does not get the mentor bonuses. Only the mentor units themselves get to take the advantage of all those bonuses. All right, well, let's see what the next augment is going to be. Nothing here jumping out. Then, Teacher's Council. Mentor bonuses are increased by 10%. The whole rest of the team gets the bonuses. It's like, are you kidding me? All right, okay. So now Antisocialmunky doesn't even have to make any choices. He's going to get the benefit of the mentor units on everyone. So now Gangplank's going to get all the mentor bonuses too, and they're going to be increased by 10%. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, seriously? So now Gangplank gets all the mentor bonuses too, plus they're scaled up by an additional 10%. So that is what Kabako gives damage reduction, Yasuo gives, I think, attack speed, Udyr gives AD and AP, and then Rise gives additional mana per auto attack. I believe that's what they all are. I'd have to double check. It's something like that. Okay, so, like, if this was really silly before, now it's just getting stupid. This game is, like, this is just dumb. This is so dumb. Gangplank, like, takes one step forward, and then he never has to move again the whole rest of the fight with these stretchy arms. He's got the stacking attack speed from Duelist. He's got the stacking attack speed from Rageblade. He has the Edge of Night, so if he does get focused, he gets an aggression drop. Like, how do you do this? And then he prints like another 2 or 3 gold every round. I don't know what you do about this. If this board is hitting, I'm just not sure what you're supposed to do to stop it outside of hitting like a 3-star 4 cost or something. I keep repeating myself. It's pretty dumb. It's pretty dumb. So if you're curious about what this has done in terms of average placement, I looked up some of the unit stats right before playing this game. Gangplank has an average placement of 3.98. 3.98. Oh, by the way, he also finally kicked in his warpath. Warpath was that initial augment. Remember, it didn't gain any benefit unless he had to deal 80 player damage to the rest of the lobby, and he finally triggered that there. So it gave him a big loot drop. He got double full item chests. He also got a Yone to drop and a Twisted Fate. So it was like 2 5 costs and 3 full item anvils. Again, just an absolutely massive reward. He gets another protective vow for Jarvan. Going to put Striker's Flow on Rise. I don't know that that's the best item on him. It's not a bad item, but I do feel like you need some crit chance on Rise to make that. He probably needs to get like a Jeweled Gauntlet on Rise or something to make that a really effective item. But yeah, sure. I mean, it's not a bad choice by any means. And he actually still has the Yone, so he can hold the Yone on his board if he wants to try to play Yone on level up. Like, Yone would give him another rank of mech and put Edgelord trade in play for Yasuo. So, yeah. The Warpath augment is very much a high risk, high reward because, as I said, you don't really get anything from the augment unless you deal 80 player damage. And, like, that's a lot. That means you pretty much have to, like, top 4 the lobby. So it really doesn't do anything unless you're kind of already winning the lobby anyway. But ASM was already winning the lobby anyway, so now he snowballs even further ahead of the rest of the lobby. There's a GP here that would give him, is that number 7, number 8? That's number 8. And then it also gives him a bow, which he can combine with the cloak to make Kraken Slayer, which I believe is the last item he was going for. So anyway, he's just rolling it down for the last GP right now. Oh, he actually sold the Yone for a Kabako. He got another Yone from the chest as well, and a 2-star Leona. What the heck? All right, well, he has just like crazy econ to roll with. All right, there's the 3-star Gangplank. Well, he was win streaking with 2-star Gangplank, so now it's just dumb. I've said that like a whole bunch of times, but it's even sillier now. And he put the rest of the econ from those chests into hitting 2-star Kabako, or now he's on 6 Kabakos, and he's on 5 Udyrs and 4 Yasuos on the board right now. So I guess he's going to stay here on level 7. Level 7 is where you have the best odds to hit the 3 costs, and then just keep rolling for these units. But obviously, like, if he was winning before, it's going to be even more disgusting now, because now the mentors are starting to take over as well. Not only does Gangplank have stacking attack speed to go, or stacking attack damage to go with the stacking attack speed, the mentor units are now getting really strong in their own right as well. Because those units with the 4 mentor bonuses and his augment that increases the bonuses another 10% means all those units are going to be really, really strong. Also on 6 Udyrs, 7 Kabakos, like if you can 3-star these units with as strong as they already are naturally, I mean, the board is just scaling completely out of control. Printing so much gold, getting so strong. I mean, he has 2-star Jarvan with like double Protector's Vows on there and a 2-star Rise. And I mean, yeah. As I said, I might have held on to the 1 Yone just so we could play Yone on level 8, but ASM did run out of bench space. I'm a little surprised that he prioritized picking up another Kabako over holding that Yone, but I guess bench space is at a premium sometimes when you're playing these. Still, all these other comps just like they don't have any chance at all. These fights, like look at these fights. This board over here is not weak at all. It has a 2-star Ashe with like a really strong front line in front of it, but I mean, it's not close at all. That board killed like 1 unit. Like that was like a 6 duelist board with a 2-star Ashe. Like it killed a unit. Like these fights are just absolute stomps. So I was getting to that point before. I kind of got interrupted when the Warpath treasure chest went off. But yeah, the average placement for Gangplank, as you see the 3-star Kabako come in, average placement for GP 3.98. He's a 2-cost unit. His average placement's 3.98. If you 3-star him, I think his average placement is like 3.2, something like that. Actually, I'm going to look it up right now. I'm curious what his average placement is if you 3-star him, just because this unit is so busted. And I didn't jot that down when I was looking at it. All right, if you 3-star him, 3.28. Okay. Yeah, 3.28 for a 2-cost unit. Yeah, okay. So that's pretty busted. And all of the other mentor units have equally absurd average placement. Again, that's the average placement of a 5-cost unit. Gangplank actually has better average placement than Gwen, than Seraphine, than Varus. He has a better average placement than half the 5 costs in the set, which is absurd for a 2-cost unit. Like, it's just completely and utterly broken. The other mentor units, average placement for some of these, as you see, 3-star Yasuo popping up. And how many Udyrs does he have as well? He also has 7 Udyrs as well. Okay. Actually could get a 10th Yasuo if he wanted to. Kabuko's average placement is 4.0. Yep. Also a 2-cost unit. The Udyr is a little bit lower because Udyr gets played on duelist boards. He's 4.3. Yasuo 3.99, and then Ryze is also 3.99. So the Gangplank plus the 4 mentors is completely broken. None of the other units, I mean, like, compared to some of the 4 costs, the other 4 costs, Akali is 4.5, Ashe is 4.7, Jinx is 4.7, Cassante is 4.5, Karma's 4.4, Leona's 4.4, Poppy's 4.7, and Gangplank is 3.98 for the average placement. Again, I cannot stress enough how absurdly overtuned this build is. It has completely wrecked the balance of this set, and everyone is just trying to play the GP. Like, yeah. Now you might have noticed that he leveled up there. What was he doing? Well, he saw someone was on 7 Yumis. So ASM, being a smart player here, just decided, I'm going to go to level 8 and I'm going to try to grab Yumis to take them out of the pool, because the only way he loses this lobby is if someone gets a 3-star 4 cost. So he needs to deny Yumis, and yeah, that person's on 7 Yumis. They are level 9. There's 0 gold, though, so they don't have a lot of gold to roll with. They're playing a 5 Prodigy Yumi build, which should be a viable build, but is kind of not, because nothing can compete with this Gangplank nonsense. So the only way he loses the lobby is if that person finds 2 more Yumis. There are 10 copies of all the 4 costs, so that person has 7, and now ASM has 1. He probably should play a different unit than that. Yumi on his board, because Yumi does not fit his board at all. But yeah, okay, yeah, that board is 5 Prodigy. So yeah, I mean, like, that board should be a very viable board, but it's just not, because nothing is really, the only thing that like seems to be competitive is this Mundo plus Jin reroll build. And part of the reason why that build works is because it also takes 3, it's also reliant on rerolling for 2 costs. So if there's like a billion Gangplanks out of the pool and all the Kabukos are out of the pool, then that build becomes stronger because it's easier to hit Jin and easier to hit Mundo. Okay, well, here you go. This person is playing that board, 3-star Jin, 3-star Mundo. This is the other board that's been playing, that's been really strong, but like, obviously it can't compete with the fact that there's now 3-star Yone, 3-star Kabuko, 3-star Udyr. ASM just hit 3-star Udyr. I mean, look at how long the Mundo tanks. It's actually absurd how long he tanks. But, I mean, did that board kill even 1 unit? Nope. No, it did not. So you can see even these other boards that are, like, designed to be competitive cannot stand up to the Gangplank plus 4 mentors once it hits. Like, once this board hits, it's just over. It's unbeatable. There's nothing in the current patch that can stand up to this. I think that ASM wants to get a Yone here. He would love to put Yone on his board, to put Edgelord trait in play, and actually use that augment that he put on Yasuo earlier, because the Blood Brothers won. But that, of course, gets snapped up early on because it's a 5 cost. People understand they want to get the 5 costs out of the pool. So he's going to end up taking another Jeweled Gauntlet. I don't know that you want double Jeweled Gauntlets on Ryze, but I mean, sure, why not? It does actually work with the Striker's Flail is the official name for that thing now. And if you're curious why he puts the Ziggs on the board, Ziggs puts Strategist trait in play. Well, doesn't put Strategist trait in play. He already had Strategist trait in play with Ryze and the Jarvan, but it gives him another rank of Strategist. So if this wasn't silly enough, he's also getting damage amp on all his units from Strategist, so and a shield on some of them. So yeah, okay. They definitely needed shielding and damage amp on these units from Strategist trait too. I think I looked at the Gangplank. I think Gangplank's ability is doing like 1,000 damage per attack. And of course he has the Kraken Slayer, so he's going to be getting more AD constantly throughout the fight, because with Duelist plus Rageblade, he attacks really fast, and every additional attack gives him more AD. And yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, you can see what's happening. That was the other strongest player in the lobby, who killed like 2 units off the board. Yep. So, hey, it's a top 4. I hate all those chibis, by the way. I know ASM is using the Riven one. I hate those things. They look so bad. But anyway, other people seem to like them. They've been worth like $1 billion to Riot, so yeah, I just had to learn to live with it. This board does also give you a big celebration for being top 4. Like Pengu pops out and dances around a little bit. I don't think that I could play this board too often. I know I said that before. There's just too many doodads on this board. There's just too much going on. I don't know. I don't know if I really like the giant Feather Knight staring over the corner of this board. But whatever. It's a change of pace. All right, so this person's trying to play a variation on the same build that ASM's doing. Well, anyway, this person's playing Duelist. They got a training dummy with Duelist emblem plus Soul Fighter, so you might think, oh, cool, I'll play around 3-star Viego. And, well, they hit the 3-star Viego, but, yeah, poor Viego. He didn't really do a whole lot, did he? And then the fight's just over. We see the little animation. As I said, I really don't like these. With Gangplank, Gangplank was on the left side of the board. Gangplank never had to move. He just stood over there the whole fight. Yeah, stretchy arms. Why is this in the game again? It was the most predictable thing ever that this would be broken in some fashion. Like, sometimes the developers just need to save themselves from their own bad instincts, and I don't know why they couldn't do that here. They had a power-up back on the beta server, PvE. They introduced a power-up called Assassin, which caused the unit to jump in the back lines, and it was just such a stupid idea. Everyone was like, this is a terrible idea. You need to take this out of the game. Predictably, it was just as busted as everyone predicted, and they did remove it from the game before the live client went, before it switched over to the live client. So, yeah, like I said, bad idea. All right, so anyway, ASM picks up the Adaptive Helm. That's a good rise item. It'll allow him to generate additional mana, and he can't quite go to level 9. I think he's like 1 round away from going to level 9. He's going to be up against the person who's holding Yumis. The good news is that person still is stuck on 7 Yumis, so they have not been able to find any more. Again, the only realistic chance he can lose this lobby is if that person finds 2 more Yumis for Yumi 3-star. I actually think his board might beat Yumi 3-star. I'm not 100% sure because we're not seeing it, but I actually think his board would have a decent chance to beat Yumi 3-star because that Yumi does not have any healing, and I think he would just kill the front line so fast that I don't think that the Yumi... I'm not sure that the Yumi would be able to beat his board, but it's a moot point because that person doesn't have 3-star Yumi. Oh, look, it's like 5 additional gold. Yay, wow. Even more gold. We're going to see the Riven chibi animation one more time, and that's it, because the other Ghost Round, apparently his board won a Ghost Round as well. And so that's it. That's the end of the game. ASM wins on 93 HP. So, a really good showcase for how busted the gameplay was in this patch. Gangplank, the 4 mechs, or not 4 mechs, the 4 mentor. I mean, if you hit the build, it was just kind of unbeatable. What a toxic environment on the ladder. I'm really glad I wasn't playing now. But anyway, it should be over. We're getting a patch today as I post this video, so yeah, hopefully things get better. Anyway, thank you, ASM, for sending me this footage. I think until next time, have a great week, folks. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.